2, 3.
Take a trip with us to Nilbog. Just promise not to drink the goo.
Oh my God!
If you get sucked into the Matrix, we will send the phone for you.
Do you believe in fate?
But every movie has a plot hole, and every hole gets filled somehow with whiskey, wine, or blue milk. Just don't cut me off right now. We're the Plotaholics, a breakfast club of two. We're the Plotaholics, ripping plots apart for you.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Hey everybody, welcome into another episode of the Plotaholics podcast. I'm Shane Wilson, and I'm joined as always by the man who walks harder than any man I've ever known in my whole goddamn life, Mr. Brianopoulos Tanopoulos.
Hey-o!
Sorry, Brianthony Tanopoulos.
There we go. You know what? The wrong kid died. That's all I gotta say. Is
the wrong kid died.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man.
All right.
This was an interesting choice. It really was. This was
Go
a
ahead.
hard right. A hard right
After the
from
last
where
2
we were.
weeks.
Yeah, it's like we went from poignant and serious to WTF.
At the same time, we talked recently about, we did parodies last month, and
Yeah.
we were talking about how we needed more parodies that like understood the form and everything, and then we've gotten two, I think, this time, because I think that Walk Hard totally lampoons the biopic.
It does.
And then I think that Pop Star also totally lampoons the documentary, right?
Yes, it does.
And I personally think Pop Star is the better film.
Pop Star is a far superior film than this.
I enjoy Walk Hard, but I also acknowledge that it is not without fault, right?
Oh, it's got a lot of faults. And here's the thing.
Well, why don't you slice us off a little?
All right, I'll give you a synopsis. I'll give you a Brian Anthony synopsis.
Tanopoulos synopsis.
Yes.
Nice.
Try saying that 3 times real fast.
I can't even say Brian Anthony Tanopoulos one time.
So, in the spirit of biopic film musical spoofs, Walk Hard introduces us to one Dewey Cox. Wow, but neither one of us can talk today.
Yeah, we're doing this a little later in the day. I think when maybe our brains are just like mush already.
I think so, yeah. And in this film, Dewey Cox, the wrong kid that survived, is a musical prodigy,
Right?
maybe, that not only does he have a monkey and a giraffe that he has taken above pay, the man has more kids than Miss Wayans could ever hope to have had.
Yeah.
And in doing so, he has learned a lot about himself, that he don't want none of that shit. But he does want that shit. And he learns how to be a good father in the process.
And a good man.
Yes.
It is a film, it sort of like lands right in the sweet spot, where in terms of length for something like this, like it's not too long.
It felt long for me, but it's because it's from someone that I don't like. I am not a Judd Apatow fan.
Right.
So
well, and
once I realized
he's only credited as a writer.
Yeah, which makes it easier. Which makes it a lot easier to deal with. And but I think
I get the sense that Judd Apatow's name is only on this to help it get made.
I think so. But
because it doesn't feel a lot like some of his other ones, right?
It doesn't, but it features the same people that are involved in Apatow projects.
For sure.
But this film, for what works with it, this is a John C. Reily. Even if Judd Apatow did have his fingers deeper in this, this is John C. Reily's. This is him I believe this is what, like, before, this is before Step Brothers and before his string of films
with Will Ferrell.
with Will Ferrell, correct?
I think so. If not, it's right around the same time as Talladega Nights.
And I'll tell you the truth. I like John C. Reilly. I like a lot of things that John C. Reilly has done. Don't get me wrong when I make the statement that I'm about to make. But John C. Reilly is, all right, this is before Step Brothers.
Uh-huh.
So I think this is about, but this is after Ricky Bobby. So this is after Talladega Nights. This is when we get the weakest part of John C. Reilly, because him being buddied up with Will Ferrell, to me, it's not the best of his talents.
No,
it's just not. It's just not.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that, and I think it's because they're both kind of the same brand of comedy.
Well, they're one part the same brand, but also, I'm not even gonna lie, man. John C. Reilly is amazing when he's the supporting guy by himself, without having to be overly funny. There's just something about his talent that he's even funny without being the outward funny guy.
I think also that John C. Reilly is wildly undervalued.
He really is.
I think he's more talented than Will Ferrell.
He's far more talented than Will Ferrell. It's just that Will Ferrell got the rocket up his behind because of his stint on Saturday Night Live.
Right.
And
because of his involvement in a couple of like all-time classic banger comedies.
Correct.
Like Anchorman sort of solidified him.
Right. Now Anchorman is probably one of the funniest things that I've seen, the original.
Yeah, agree.
And Will Ferrell's very, very funny in that. But I mean, Will Ferrell, even Elf. It's a really good Christmas film. It really is. But he gets in on this I'm Will Ferrell, and he just runs with it, and he takes it up to the umpteenth. And John C. Reilly kind of started doing the same thing once he hooked up with Will Ferrell. Because if you look at the stuff that John C. Reilly did before, he was amazing.
He was in Chicago.
He was in Chicago Cab, Boogie Nights, Dolores Claiborne, What's Eating Gilbert Grape. One of my favorite Kevin Costner films, For Love of the Game, which is, he's amazing in that. And he's great in Gangs of New York. You're right. He's in Chicago. Good. And he's in Anger Management.
Yeah.
And I think even though it's a little bit overdone, it's still very funny. And then you start
Anger Management is one of the better of the latter day Sandler films.
Yeah. It's probably one of his best films of the 2000s.
And it's mostly forgotten.
Unfortunately.
And I don't know why, because you would think
because I think the reason why that
maybe we just had Sandler fatigue at that point.
Probably. But the whole point that I'm trying to make is I really feel like that once he did Talladega Nights, now he's sort of doing this overt funny man. Yeah. And it's just too much. Like, he's too talented for that. So it really feels like a letdown because he's far too talented.
I'm sorry, like I'm on the IMDb page and like I think the trailer is playing, or maybe it's the clip of that song Duet that he sings with Jenna Fischer.
Yeah.
And it's so funny.
It is a funny song. Like some of the songs, well, here's my problem with even the music of this as Odette tears up a box in the background. It's that it's trying really, really, really hard to get on the nose with the comedy. I mean, can't you just like write a song that's it's just a little bit silly without trying to be on the nose? But maybe that's just the humor that came around with it, that it's just an on the nose film. So I think
like so there are a few songs here that I think work on the exact level that you want them to. Mm-hmm. Songs that are like actually like kind of good songs.
That last song at the end was
Beautiful Ride is a good song.
But then it just starts turning into this, see, here's the joke, here's the joke, here's the joke. It's like, oh, stop.
Yeah, it does do that. It does do that very like early 2000s parody movie thing that we talked about with Scary Movie.
Yeah. And I have no patience for that because look, if you're good at what you do, you shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, Popstar did exactly what this movie wanted to do.
Yes, Popstar did it in a much different way, and both films gave us Tim Meadows. And
Yeah.
Tim Meadows is Tim
Now Tim
Meadows.
Meadows is the MVP here.
He really is.
He
Oh,
makes
come
me
on
laugh
now,
every
Dewey.
time.
Now, look, come on, Dewey. You don't want none of this shit. What does it do? And he's just like, oh, but it's I'm gonna get addicted. It's non-habit forming. Really?
Let's see if we can find some Tim Meadows.
Oh my God, Tim Meadows! I swear, Tim Meadows. Everything he does, it just brings whatever he's doing up better. Once Tim Meadows was regularly in the Goldbergs just got even funnier.
Yeah, for sure. Let me see. Hold on.
And I'll say this to eliminate any dead air is that you want to talk about one guy who really sort of he's really sort of gotten that leg up and has taken full advantage of his name Jeff Garland not being on the Goldbergs anymore. It's Tim Meadows because he's sort of filling that buddy role that that Murray Goldberg would have been covering in that show.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. I think I've got something for us here.
Okay, good. I'm excited.
It's at least part of it.
Okay.
So here we go.
Tim frickin' Meadows.
And then we'll lose that.
There we go.
Hey, listen, folks. I'd like to play a song I wrote for a very special lady.
We're gonna kick it on over.
This is Dewey Cox.
So okay, I do want to say something.
Okay.
One of the things that I really love about this movie is how much it makes fun of the people that revolted against that really white bread rock and roll music.
Yeah.
Like how it like whenever he's just playing that simple like hold your hand song at the beginning and there's like a riot breaks out. Like that was pretty funny.
I felt really bad for when we talk about some of that. I felt really bad for what was the name of the guy whose band he took over for? Why am I drawing a blank?
Yeah. You're
Craig,
talking about,
Craig Robinson played Bobby Shad.
Yeah.
I felt really bad about that where you just came in, you gotta love your Negro man.
Right, I was just thinking about that. Here's a little bit of this clip, then we'll talk about your Negro man.
Well, great plan, boys.
The Phillies love you, Dewey.
Yeah, if I wasn't a married man with a good head on my shoulders, I don't know what I'd do. You got to get back out there, Dewey. They're going crazy. All right, let me splash some water on my face. I'll be right back. Okay? Hurry up. Golly, that rock and roll.
Get out of here, Dewey.
What are y'all doing here?
We're smoking reefer. And you don't want no part of this shit.
Smoking reefers?
Yeah, of course we are. Can't you smell it?
No, Sam. I can't.
Come on, Dewey. Join the party.
No, Dewey. You don't want this. Get out of here.
You know what? I don't want no hangover. I can't get no hangover.
It doesn't give you a hangover.
Well, I'll get addicted to it or something?
It's not habit forming.
Okay, well, I don't know. I don't want to overdose on it.
You can't OD on it.
It's not going to make me want to have sex, is it?
It makes sex even better.
Sounds kind of expensive.
It's the cheapest drug there is. You don't want it.
I think I kind of want it.
Okay, but just this once. Come on in.
Dude, so I think the thing about Tim Meadows that makes me laugh so much in these scenes is how he sounds so angry about it.
Right.
He's like, it's the cheapest drug there is. He's like pissed about it.
I think what's really great is that he almost sounds like he's a victim of his own addictions, but then it's like he's making it sound so good.
Right.
It's like, well, how can I not want this? Like, I want to.
It sounds awesome.
I want to hit of that right now.
Let's see. I think here's another Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to.
Thank you, Tim Meadows.
Yeah, I want to see some of the other ones because they're all so funny.
They really are. And what's funny is that Tim Meadows is a master at playing it straight.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes it so funny. And I think that's why Ladies Man tanked the way it did.
Yeah.
It's because Tim Meadows is getting outside of what makes Tim Meadows great.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I can't hear anything.
Oh, you can't hear it? Hold on.
No.
I'll try it again.
Yeah, you got to share your audio.
Yeah. The one thing I forgot to do.
This is why we need interns.
Yep, that's it.
Among other things.
All right, let's try it now.
Tim Meadows.
What are y'all doing in here?
It's called cocaine, and you don't want no part of this shit. It turns all your bad feelings into good feelings. It's a nightmare.
I'm thinking maybe I'd like to try me some of that cocaine.
Cocaine.
I'm telling you, I've had it. I've had it with all this crap. You took your side every time. All you care about is fruit and touching yourself. Well, fuck you.
Get out of here, Dewey. You don't want no part of this shit.
What y'all doing in here?
We doing pills, uppers and downers. They're the logical next step for you.
I want some of that
I think I might adjourn to another dimension, take some LSD. You care to join me?
Yeah, let's do that.
Care to join us? It's LSD. It's good for you.
By scientists, it is.
Lysergic.
Gotta check with headquarters.
Come on, Dewey Cox. Think you might enjoy it. Open up your mind to new experience, a new level of consciousness. Really, because we are the Beatles.
Why don't you just let him decide if he wants to take LSD, he'll take it. He doesn't have to listen to you. You're not the boss of him.
Don't tell me what to say and what not to say, Paul McCartney.
I'm sick of you being so dark when I'm so impish.
Oh, can we have a moment? So here's one of my favorite things that happens in movies like this. All right, this is one of my favorite bits. We've talked a lot about favorite bits on this show lately. And one of my favorite bits is when people refer to famous people by first and last name and there's absolutely no reason for it. Like, these people are friends. Like, he would just be like,
they've grown up together.
Right.
They probably got like nicknames for each other.
He's like, you can't tell me what to do, Paul McCartney.
Or if you are friends with somebody and like say you use their whole name because you're upset with them.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to use the whole name. You're not just going to go first and last name. Like, I can't remember what were we watching. We were watching something. It was like, it still seems so weird when you become famous. People just use your first and last name as if it's
Look,
your
like,
whole
so there's
name.
that show, Californication.
Yeah.
There was a run on that show where like Rick Springfield was on it, right?
Okay.
For like at least one entire season, right? And every episode, and even in the end of it, they're still just like, shut up, Rick Springfield. Like, like, I love that they say first and last name every time. It just makes me laugh.
I seriously want to get popular enough that someone just goes, oh my God, it's Brian Tan. Hi, Brian Tan. What are you doing here today,
You
Brian
can't tell
Tan?
me what to do, Brian Tan.
But
All right.
I can.
Here's some more.
And whimsical.
Wow. Seems like there's a rift happening between the Beatles.
Dewey, you've been living clean for 3 years now, and it's done you a world of good, has it not?
Look, I know I've had my trouble with drugs in the past, but I'm addicted to coke, weed, booze, lewds, and speed, not LSD. Nobody gets addicted to LSD. It was invented by scientists. Ringo Starr just told me.
I heard that doing LSD can awaken your demons.
I ain't got no demons gonna get woke.
If you promise it'll just be this one time, okay. Let's go drop acid with the Beatles.
Yo, and this acid scene is
I
wild.
can see my large colon. I guess I do have some demons.
You all right, Cox?
I don't know.
Do you want some more LSD?
Yeah, I think I do.
Dude, the John Lennon impression is so on point.
All I know,
told you I'm gonna quit again.
Paul Rudd is just amazing.
Yeah.
No.
Paul Rudd is just great at everything he does.
What are y'all doing in here?
Dewey, get out of here. You don't want no part of this shit.
What is it?
It's medication for erectile dysfunction. It gives you a boner. Not to be used if you have a pre-existing heart condition. If boners last for more than 4 hours, call more ladies.
Well, that does sound tempting. But you know what, Sam? I really don't want no part of that shit.
Did you hear what I said? It gives you a boner.
Hate to let you down, old friend. I don't want to succumb to the temptations. My girl.
All right.
I love the fact that the one thing, like two of the things that he could not get addicted to, one, he was happy to jump into marijuana.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to get like, I'm sorry, the day that comes that I can't pop wood anymore, dude, I'm gonna be popping Viagra like freaking Tic Tacs.
Yeah, that's the day you're going to the doctor, right?
That's the day. Oh, that's absolutely the day. Although I'm gonna see if they have them in gummy form by then, because I like gummies. Yeah, I want gummy Viagra.
I just love that Tim Meadows stays facilitating his because so like here's what the film gets right. It gets like the rise, right? The rising star,
right?
The self-destruction. It also like it's also a marriage of like every major like biopic or major like there's a Bob Dylan moment, there's a Beatles moment, there's it sort of runs the whole spectrum of rock and roll history, right?
Correct. And somehow he's the catalyst of all different
of every major like
music.
genre redefinition or like reimagining, right?
Like, come on, all we're doing is
it's always married to
something's going on, right?
Or
something that's happening is like, come on, Dewey, we're just playing our instruments really, really fast, like some punks. It's like, oh man, it's so great. There were some aspects of this that were very, very funny. Tim Meadows, of course, was very hilarious. Kristen Wiig, at the very beginning, where he's like, yeah, I'm Dewey Cox's 12-year-old girlfriend. It's like, yeah, there's not enough suspension of disbelief in the world that's going to make me believe that John C. Reilly is 14 and you're 12.
I think that's the joke, though, right?
That is the joke. That is the joke, which was very funny, because you figure at this point, John C. Reilly is already in his 40s.
Yeah.
So,
I think that there's something like, I know what you mean when you say like they try too hard or whatever, because there's like a tone in the delivery of the lines that is like a little like too tongue-in-cheek, almost like the way that lines are delivered in Scary Movie.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's playing, at least Dewey is playing, and Darlene they're both playing it as like super naive, like they don't know what it is. It's like it's everybody else that's kind of in on it that I think like bothers me more.
Yeah, but I think it was kind of funny when she's like, I want a candy house. I told you I can't make you a candy house. The sun is gonna make it all melt. All right, I think by the time you're 12, the idea of wanting a house made of candy is gonna go away.
Right, but it does hit all of those major like rock and roll beats.
Yeah. Well, I think the reason why I had issue with this movie at first, when it first came out, and this is my first time watching it, is because Walk the Line had just come out.
Yeah.
And it really felt like hitting low-hanging fruit with everything that Johnny Cash has been through, especially, it wasn't too long after his death. So I kind of felt like, oh, this is just making fun of Johnny Cash. And it made fun of the movie, though.
Yeah,
maybe
that. But that was also at a time when we were getting, and we're still getting, all of these biopics, right? Like we got, in that same year, we got Ray, and we got Walk the Line, and a slew of others, and recently we're still Bohemian Rhapsody, and
they just came out with an Elvis Presley one. I'm like, oh, come on. Enough.
So now one of the things that I really like about Walk Hard is and we also just talked about this a little bit, are the cameos, like the people that they get to play some of the other famous musicians.
Yeah, we got Jack Black, who is just so hilarious. Paul Rudd. Let me go down this line again. Let me go down the line a little bit more. Eddie Vedder was in this. We got the newer that era's iteration of the Temptations. Now, did you watch? I didn't get to watch the unrated version.
I have watched it, but it's been a while.
Patrick Duffy, Morgan Fairchild, Cheryl Ladd, and Don Was is in that one. In the unrated version. Well, Don Was is in the regular version. But Cheryl Ladd, Morgan Fairchild, and Patrick Duffy are in the unrated version. And then, of course, Paul Rudd, Jack Black, Justin Long, and Jason Schwartzman as the Beatles. Which was very funny. Jack White playing Elvis Presley. Shout out, man. I did not realize that was Jack White.
Yeah, he does a really good job.
He was funny, man. He was real funny. And he had a really good Elvis impression. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you something.
Right. Yeah, he was killer.
He was great. Frankie Muniz is Buddy Holly. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Like, the only thing that would have made it even funnier was if we would have gotten, like, Jerry Lee Lewis, but he's, like, all coked out and going crazy.
Yeah, no, I thought that, like, it was pretty solid. And I like the concept of this like larger than life musician that like they've inserted into the history of rock and roll, and they kept all of the other pieces the same,
Right.
and then like had it in such a way that like it's interesting because I think that you're right, it is making fun of biopics, and maybe it is. I don't think it's making fun of Johnny Cash as much as it's making fun of the movie about Johnny Cash.
That's exactly what my point was, is that
Yeah.
it's not making fun of Johnny Cash. It's making fun of the movie based on Johnny Cash.
I would say it's more likely that it's making fun of Elvis.
Elvis got burned hard.
Yeah, and I say that because you have Dewey Cox, who becomes this sort of monolith, the stand-in representative of every white male musician that's ever played. And a specific piece of his story is that he takes over a band from a black man and then becomes famous off of it.
Yeah. And those black musicians are never seen or heard from again.
Right.
And there's no Bobby Shedd ever again, which is horrible.
And then what is the song that he records? That's Amore.
Yeah. You have taken away my every single hope and dream that I have in this world. That I usually trust the Jewish people, but being that they brought you in here and that's what you did, my faith in Jews has been shaken. Well, maybe if I can do something that'll reestablish your faith in Judaism.
That's so funny.
That is pretty funny. And of course, we got Harold Ramis as L'chaim, which was great.
Yeah.
Oh man. The stereotypical freaking Jewish music executives. So
yeah, I mean the story itself is like basically what you would expect any of these movies to be, right? He has this like rocket ship ride up to the top of the charts. He becomes wildly famous, and then through his own like self-destructive tendencies, he gets addicted to a bunch of drugs and booze. He cheats on his long-term wife.
Yeah, marries another woman while he's married to the wife.
Right, but I mean Jenna Fischer in this movie, hello.
Jenna Fischer, period. Hello.
That's a really fair point. But like when you're used to seeing her as Pam Beasley,
it's totally different.
Yeah, because when she comes in that hotel room, wearing that a little get up, you know.
Yeah. Well, Kristen Wiig Kristen Wiig was such a villain in this. You're never going to succeed. All your dreams are going to fail. Love you. Like, wow.
Yeah, but I love like the Darlene character, and I love that song, that Let's Duet song.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like the clip that I was looking at, I kind of want to watch it because it does like make me laugh whenever she's like sawing, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like just like banging the hammer. It's too good.
Sharon and I were watching this together, and she actually had moments where she was laughing pretty. I mean, she was laughing. She goes, but
it's like there are moments where it's the exact right kind of funny.
Yeah. And even though there are points in time in this movie where I'm just like, ugh. And Sharon even goes, Shane suggested this one, didn't he? And I was like, yes, he did. And she was like, because you've never shown an interest in this movie. I'm like, yeah, I know. But you know what? There were parts of it that were, now that we're talking about it, I do like it a bit more than
you thought
at first watch. Yeah.
Here we go.
Jenna Fischer.
I heard you were looking for a new backup singer for your new duet.
You heard right.
I was wondering.
It also
if you might like to give me a try.
I'll also say, like, all of their dialogue is so loaded. I'll also say that just the way that it's filmed, like the cinematography here, it looks good. Like this is a well shot movie.
It is.
It looks just like every biopic you've ever seen.
It really does. It looks it, and I'll tell you what, the one thing, how a film is shot and how it looks can make or break a film.
Yeah. And this movie does nail the form.
It does. I love that she has that oversized cross that like puts even more tension on her.
Right.
Like it's in
I might.
I know we're watching a lot of clips,
I've been
but they're just
thinking
funny to
about
me.
church choir since I was a girl.
This is one of those
sound of that.
Darlene Madison.
Darlene.
Hello, Darlene.
Hello, Mr. Cox.
Hey-o.
You ready to sing one?
I'm always ready.
Well, all right. In my dreams, you're blowing me. some kisses.
That's one of my favorite things to do.
Oh my.
You and I could go down in history.
Like, this is clever to me. I don't know.
That's what I'm praying to do with you.
Let's do it in ways that make us feel good. Let's do it and make that sacred sound.
Dewey Cox. I am not that kind of woman.
This is the bit right here, though.
To a shout.
Let's do it in ways that
I want to know why they're doing this together.
put two and two together. Perfect harmony we found. We know it's only natural.
I just want to know why they're doing woodworking together.
It's so, like, all of it is so ridiculous, but this is the stuff that I love in a parody movie, though, right? Like, because, and this is it, is like, as much as it's lampooning a specific genre, there's nothing in this. You don't have to have seen every one of those biopics that we mentioned in order to get these jokes.
Right. It just works, and it works for what they're doing in the film.
And he delivers his part of it for whatever complaints we have about other people in the movie. John C. Reilly delivers his performance in earnest, right? Like Leslie Nielsen would have done.
Right. Well, and that's why I say, man, John C. Reilly is way more talented than he's given any sort of respect.
Absolutely.
He deserves way more credit, way more respect than he's given. And I'm sorry, he never ever should have been second banana to Will Ferrell.
No.
Dude, John C. Reilly's not even a banana man.
He's not a banana man.
He is not a banana man. He might wear a banana hammock, but he's not a banana man.
And what a hammock it would be, I'm sure.
It would be an amazing hammock, I'm sure.
So
I just see him and Tim Meadows just like doing like duet banana hammock photo shoots, like.
So right, for an album cover, like a Red Hot Chili Peppers style album cover.
Yeah, I could absolutely see it.
I really love the Bob Dylan stuff because I think
those songs are so nonsensical, and that's what
I think Bob Dylan is like kind of overrated anyway.
Okay.
I mean, that's a hot take if you want one.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't feel like I have to rush to the defense of Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
But at the same token, it's like, okay.
I mean, I think that Bob Dylan is a great songwriter, right? I'm not saying that he's not good.
It's just
I just think that like a lot of his catalog is just kind of like nonsense.
It's stuff.
And I don't know why people want to suck his dick so hard for it. Like he's got like pound for pound, he's not like that far ahead of anybody else that was doing the same kind of work at the same time.
Right. It's just that he was the most popular for
reasons. And I love the songs in this movie that make fun of him. Like let me see, I want to find the lyrics to it. Because the lyrics are so funny.
All of those Bob Dylan era songs are just too funny. They really are. I'll tell you what, though, it really did feel like that they were purposefully just like teasing him and like busting his balls. Which, hey, I'm okay with that.
The lyrics are: mailboxes drip like lampposts in the twisted birth canal of the Colosseum. Rim job fairy teapots mask the temper tantrum. Oh, say, can you see 'em? Stuffed cabbage is the darling of the laundromat.
The hell is that even supposed to mean? That
doesn't
words.
mean anything. Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, and this is the song in the. This is I'll throw it up real quick just so we can like again get a little slice of it, you know.
Okay.
Oh.
Heyo.
Music.
Some people are saying that your new music sounds a lot like Bob Dylan.
Well, maybe Bob Dylan sounds a lot like me. You know, how come nobody ever asked Bob Dylan why you sound so much like Dewey Cox?
Mailboxes drip like lampposts in the twisted birth.
And it sounds just like Bob Dylan.
It's such listen. It's honestly a hella good Bob Dylan impression.
It really is.
God's mask the temper tantrum. Oh, say, can you see him? The cabbage is the darling of the laundromat. The mouse with the overbite explained how the rabbit.
What? That's what I want to know.
The mouse with the overbite explained how the rabbits like, and then it cuts off, and I'm like, "What's the next line?"
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know what it's
idiots.
He's a tomato. The guy's an idiot. Oh, it's too good, man.
Oh man, that is too funny.
But I like so what happens here and what makes it work, I think, for me, is that as a parody, it parodies a film genre. And then instead of making fun of specific entries in that genre, instead of like making fun specifically of Walk the Line or Ray or whatever,
it's just making fun of the genre.
It makes fun of the genre, and then its specific targets are the actual musicians themselves.
Right.
Like, or their music or whatever, right?
Well, it seems to me like the only ones that are getting attacked are Bob Dylan and Elvis Presley.
Yeah, they are the big ones. I do like that they kind of poke fun at the Beatles too, though. And I think that at the heart of it, the movie is making this central argument. It is, why do we deify these people? They're all just like people.
Us.
Like, they're just people.
Yeah, well, and the thing is that they're so. I think, we make these people into deities. Meanwhile, a lot of them are just so pretentious.
They're pretentious, or they're like mean or awful people, or they're
and it's like these
opportunists
people,
or whatever, right?
Right, and it's like they're screwing anything that moves without a care in the world. And how many times have we heard of like these musicians that are, having like, and it's mostly the male musicians having all these kids with all these different women, and the kids are like, I don't know who this person is.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely ridiculous. And I like how they make fun of that even with Dewey Cox, and the kid's like, yeah, well, I have 22 brothers and sisters and 14 half brothers and sisters. And then there's like Dewey Rahim, and like,
right.
He actually looks at the one, are you sure you're even mine? The kid's like, yeah. I mean, it's, you look at these people, I mean, a lot of these musicians and actors too, but mostly musicians, because I think that in a lot of ways musicians have wield a lot more power than actors did.
They also occupy a much more liminal space because they don't ever stay in one place.
Right.
Like, because of tours and stuff. Like, actors work in Hollywood or in New York or wherever, right?
Georgia.
Like, right. But a musician, when they're on tour, they will be
They're
all
everywhere.
over the planet for like 2 or 3 years. They don't even have a home,
Right.
Like,
right.
So like, that's why they're out. Like, they have the freedom. They feel like they have the freedom to sling their wiener wherever they want to and do whatever they want to, because they're not like, it's not their house, right? It's a hotel. It's not, it's, so they can fuck it up however they want to. They can do drugs there if they want to. They can have anybody over, because who's going to see them come and go? Right. Like all of that stuff.
Or who's going to tell me no?
Right. Yeah. Who's going to tell me no? And also, who's going to tell on me? Right. Like,
right. All these people are just, they're living the rock star lifestyle, and they're clingers on.
Yeah.
I mean, another movie that we'll be watching, the movie Rockstar, you see how they just like destroy hotel rooms.
Right.
With no care in the world.
Yeah, that's how it goes. But yeah, I tend to think that the music in this movie is pretty good.
It's not the best that we've had.
No, it's not the
so
best
far, but it's
for a parody film.
It's okay. For a parody film, it's good.
Yeah, for sure. And John C. Reilly is a good vocalist. Like, he does a nice job.
Yeah, he does his own music. He does his own guitar playing, his own singing, and it's really, really good. I think my only issue with it, and like I said, this movie I like a lot more now that I'm talking about it. Like, I'll probably go back to it, but it's enjoyable.
It's one that found me at the right time, right? Like, I was I was in college, and I was just kind of like vibing with this kind of stuff.
Right.
And it just was like, it just made me laugh. It brought me joy,
We got to give a shout out to Raymond J. Barry, and Margot Martindale that played Mom, Pa Cox.
Yes, Margot Martindale.
Dude, Margot Martindale's another. Like, I thought that I had seen her in so many more things.
You have seen her in a bunch of things.
I know I've seen her in a lot of things, but I thought I saw her in like more than that. But
She's one of those character actresses that's all over the place.
Right. And just when you think she's just good. She's just good at whatever she does. And I really enjoyed her in this movie. And it was really, really nice to see her in this comedic light. This sort of physical comedy. Because a lot of her stuff was very physical. Especially when she was off the screen.
Yeah.
Then, of course, Raymond Barry was so funny.
Yeah, he's good. Like, the wrong kid died. Also, like, listen, this is so ridiculous. But whenever he machetes his brother in half,
which was so
like
hilarious.
That whole scene where his torso is just sitting on the ground, like
just like
right. It's so
holy
funny.
shit, Dewey.
It's so ridiculous.
It really is.
But the most ridiculous, and this is the stuff that makes me laugh so much, right? Is like the doctor is like,
I don't think he's gonna pull through. Speak English, damn it. We're regular people.
That's so fucking funny, dude.
And I love the fact that the dad went out the exact same way, but they're trying to rekindle. He was like,
and he challenges him to a machete fight.
Yeah, he's like, I really wish that I wouldn't have trained so long to kill you in armed combat and just loved you. It's like, what?
It's too good, dude.
Nice parenting, asshole.
Yeah, no, I think that shit's so funny.
Well, I also like when he's playing catch with the kid and the kid just keeps dropping the ball. He goes, "You're not very good at this. Well, I didn't have you around to teach me." It's like, oh, zing! Zinger!
Yeah, it's solid, dude. Like, I think it's funny. Again, not perfect, no. But for what it's trying to accomplish, I think it does a nice job.
I agree. It's very, very fun. It's really, really, it's enjoyable, and it's definitely a good movie that if you want to see, Jenna Fischer not as Pam Beesly,
like in a very different kind of role.
A very different role.
And like more of like, because in The Office, Pam is like one of the straight characters, right? Like she's not often the root of the joke, right?
Right. She's always like the backup person.
Right. Like she's the one that Michael is bouncing off of.
Yeah, or Jim, or she's just sitting there and enjoying watching what Jim does to Dwight.
Right.
And like very rarely does she ever be the one to cause the joke.
Yeah. But here she is very funny.
She really is. And she's definitely someone that I really think she's another one that I think that is way better than what she's given credit for, because people just see her as Pam.
Right. Yeah.
And when she does attempt to sort of step out and do something different, it's like, no, we want Pam. But she can't be Pam all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's tough. And it's interesting because when you look at The Office, like pound for pound, one of the most talented ensemble casts, like at least comedy sitcoms, in a while,
Yes.
And you look at, like, I feel like John Krasinski had to try really hard to become something other than Jim. He's been very successful, but with Jack Ryan and A Quiet Place and things like that. But I think he also was fighting an uphill battle. Pam has had less success. Steve Carell has had some success.
He was. I mean, he was able to. He was in that what was that movie that we did? It was Steve Carell and crap. What was the name of that movie? You know the movie I'm talking about. It's that movie that we did. I think we did that movie last year.
Yeah, we've only done 200 of them so far.
Yeah, it's a good point by you. I'm trying to find it.
Crazy Stupid Love.
Yes.
Very good movie.
Yeah,
he's got a ton of stuff like that.
Right, and I think that Steve Carell, in a lot of ways, not as manic, but he's that lovable figure that we had with Robin Williams.
Yes,
where he's not the manic version, but it's that love. Like I could see Steve Carell playing in a role similar to what Robin Williams did in Good Will Hunting. I could see it. And
I could see him doing a Patch Adams type thing.
I absolutely could as well. And I feel bad that Jenna Fischer, it's getting harder. Not getting harder. I think that it's getting a little bit easier. I think that she's gonna find that breakout. I mean, she hasn't done a movie. She hasn't done a whole lot since 2018, 2019-ish.
Well, nobody has.
Nobody has. But I really do think that once she gets that real
give me her
as
Sue Storm.
I would love to see John Krasinski and Jenna Fischer as
Wouldn't that be
Reed's
wild?
new
How many
Storm.
people would have meltdowns over that casting?
I would go crazy over
Right?
that. I would
Yeah.
be like, I would be in the, like, granted, I have gone to the movie theaters to see a couple of movies. There's nothing coming out that I want to go see lately. But I would be there night one. I would go there on a Thursday night to watch Fantastic Four. If
To see those two.
Jenna Fischer is cast as Sue Storm.
Yes. And give me Kevin Malone as the Thing. And then give me BJ Novak as the Human Torch.
You know what? There you go. That's it right there.
Yep.
That's
And
the
give
film.
me Bob Van, or give me Stanley as Dr. Doom.
Yes! Yes! Oh my God. Yes. Now, BJ Novak, I have to look this up because he's got a movie. I saw this movie when there was a movie that he had done. And I think
That dude is hella talented.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be some kind of this journalist, Vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
I really cannot wait for that to get released because it sounds really good. I saw the previews for it when I went to go see Danger Zone Part 2.
Uh-huh.
And I was really interested, so I might actually be willing to go and see that.
Yeah, I like that dude a lot. His book of short stories is hella clever. Like, he's so good. He's a very good writer.
A lot of the actors and actresses from The Office are just so talented.
They really are. I mean, like, even like, I think Mindy Kaling is like a genius.
Mindy Kaling is one that she's another one that really, really deserves.
Well, and I'll say
way
this.
more credit.
I'll say this in her defense: she never meant to be an actress, right? She was a writer,
right?
And then The Office ended up using all of their writers as members of the cast.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was sort of like put into that, and then she had like the run with the Mindy Project, which was really good,
Mm-hmm.
and did well. And now she's running 2 different series that are very successful. She's got one on Netflix. Like, she's sort of like the rom-com whisperer right now, like for like that, with that target audience of like young, like Gen Z women. And she's doing really well in that market. So, like, I mean, just because she's not in front of the camera, right? Like, I don't think she ever really wanted to be that.
Right. I still love her so much.
I do too.
And I still loved in 40-Year-Old Virgin when she was in the speed dating.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, I'm tired of you messing with my friend. What are you talking about, dude? I've done everything that I could. I've changed my email. I've changed my phone. Blah, blah, blah. I didn't know that. She is so good.
We got to do the 40-Year-Old Virgin sometime.
Yeah, as much as I despise Judd Apatow, I love 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Well, that's before we knew what a piece of shit he was.
Very true. Now, here's the thing, though. If we do 40-Year-Old Virgin, I'm definitely doing the unrated version because there's something about that unrated version that's just far more superior.
It hits different.
It really does. Like, even just seeing, I'm looking at the movie poster right now. It is so hilarious. Steve Carell with that 70s Olin Mills, Sears Roebuck smile on his face from those pictures, and the polo shirt. Oh my God. But I really think that with Walk Hard, what we're getting is we're getting the best of a lot of these actors and actresses that were amazing on the small screen.
Yeah,
And
we're
then
definitely getting John C. Reilly in his sweet spot.
Yeah, I mean, this is right after my only issue, like I said though before, is that this is right after Talladega Nights, but thankfully before Step Brothers.
Yeah,
and I guess I do have to walk back where I'm saying that he kind of felt a lot like he was sort of like way out there, but he really wasn't. It was only when it needed to be.
Yeah.
So this isn't a bad. This is a good one. It's a nice sort of shift from where.
Yeah, it feels like maybe you just weren't in the right headspace for it whenever you were
Probably
watching
not. Well, you figure yesterday I was doing 4.5 hours of physical activity.
Yeah.
I burned over 3,500. I burned like 3,500 plus calories.
Yeah,
yesterday.
I saw the pics from that event. It looked like you had a good little turnout there.
It was not. It was a beautiful time. It was really wonderful. And then I come home and I can't go to sleep right away. And then I finally do fall asleep. And then it's so hot, I wake up and I can't go back to sleep. But I'm sweating so hard that I feel like I'm being bitten.
Oh.
And it's like, oh, this sucks. Why didn't I put the AC in? Every time I go to put the AC in, it's like, oh, well, it's not really all that hot right now. I think I'm going to have to do that today.
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah.
Anywho,
let's bartender Smiley maybe.
Yeah, I think we're at that time.
The Plotaholics rating system for the movies is a pretty simple system. Basically, they rate movies based on how many shots it takes to get through them. So if you got a good movie and you get through it all the way sober, then it takes 0 shots to get through the movie. And then if you got a really bad movie, then it could take up to 5 shots to get through the whole thing. I think you can try to figure out the middle part yourself. So, what can I get you?
All right. So, okay. Not perfect. I still enjoy the shit out of it. And again, this may be my nostalgic glasses talking for once. But I think that the songs are funny. I think the story is charming and funny. I love John C. Reilly in this. Love Jenna Fischer. Love Tim Meadows, the whole crew. I'm going to go one shot on this.
All right. I don't really have a lot of, I have no nostalgic cling to this, but I mean, it was fun. It had its interesting moments. I sort of had to do a little bit of a retrospective to really, really think about it. And I mean, it was a good time. Is this something that I'm going to go outside of my way to watch again? I don't know. Maybe. It depends. Probably not.
You won't offend me if you don't go out of your way to watch it.
I mean,
That's okay.
I will say this, though. What I did find funny, and we didn't get a chance to really talk about it, was the 1970s Dewey Cox with the CBS variety show. Oh, that was really, really good.
Oh, right.
That was really fun. And Jane Lynch is always a victory.
Yeah. Anytime she's around, it's a good day.
It really is. So this is a movie for me that got better the more it went on. And but I'm going to give it a 2-shot rating because, on first glance, it's kind of just like, all right, you're capitalizing.
It's an acquired taste. Is that fair?
Yeah, I'll go with that. It's an acquired taste. This is the type of film that won me over right out the gate.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was enjoyable. It was likable. And believe me, you don't want any of this shit when they're doing it in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Until you realize that maybe you do want some of that shit.
Yeah, right. Until then you realize again later that maybe you don't want none of that shit.
Yeah.
That's that's the arc of the universe, right?
Pretty much. And of course, I will say this. I think the weakest part of this movie, though, Jonah Hill just wasn't all that funny to me in this.
That's fair. I feel like Jonah Hill, for all of the people that we have talked about being underrated, I think Jonah Hill is overrated. Very,
very, very overrated. He's not even the most talented dude in his family. His sister is way more talented than he is, in my opinion. Beanie Feldstein.
Yeah, I agree. She's much more talented.
So yeah, honestly, if you're gonna look for a weak spot in this movie, it's definitely every time Jonah Hill's on screen. It's absolutely, absolutely terrible. And I'm kind of glad he's only playing a Force ghost.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, let's see here. Next week, we'll get into 8 Mile. We'll switch gears.
Sound in the music, the moment you own it, you better never let it go. Oh! Yeah, I'm not a rapper. I can't wait to do. You know what's funny, though, is that 8 Mile has a lot of parts in it that are funny, but they're not meaning to be funny. They just are.
Right.
And it's going to be very, very interesting watching this film, because we've been without Brittany Murphy for a number of years now. And it's kind of strange watching movies with Brittany Murphy and just wondering what her career would have become.
Yeah.
If we hadn't lost her so soon.
Yeah. I liked her.
She was very good. Very amazing. Very fun. And very talented.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch 8 Mile. It's one that I have, for whatever reason, always missed. I've never seen it.
What?
Yeah.
We're going to pop your Detroit film cherry.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm excited.
Yeah, so that's next week. As always, make sure that you are rating, reviewing, subscribing, etc. We got the last 2 Obi-Wan episodes of Tan Talks coming out this week. Sorry for the delay on that. The one that you guys did last week completely missed my radar. I have no idea how I missed it. How I slept on that.
It's all good.
I got to like yesterday and I was like, oh shit, I feel like I was supposed to do something this week. So sorry about that. It's summer break. I'm having a hard time focusing.
No, I totally understand. I know what it's like. I mean,
So,
trust
but
me.
I'll get that put together, and we'll get those up this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, probably.
Cool. Have you had a chance to watch any of The Boys this so far?
Yeah, I'm up through 4, I think. I haven't watched the newest one.
Herogasm is really, really good.
Yeah,
It's really good.
Probably get after that tonight, I think.
Yeah, I got in trouble for those that are in the Fandoms United Facebook group. I got kind of in trouble when I was singing the joys of The Boys. And here comes the wife. Why are you watching things without me?
You always tell on yourself. Do you forget that she's in there?
Yeah, I do, actually. I totally forget.
That's funny. All right.
And I want to give a final shout out before we go. Shout out to Ed Souter for being really, really involved in the Fandoms United group.
Absolutely.
He's always got stuff. He's always keeping the conversation going in there. So shout out to you, Ed Souter.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, we will be back here next week with 8 Mile.
See ya.
Take a trip with us to Nilbog. Just promise not to drink the goo. Oh my God! If you get sucked into the Matrix, we will sing the phone for you.
Do you believe in fate?
But every movie has a plot hole, and every hole gets filled somehow. Whiskey, wine, or blue milk. Just don't cut me off right now. We're the Plotaholics, a breakfast club of 2. We're the Plotaholics, ripping plots apart for you.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.